In the horror film The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick, the Room 237 is a reference to a haunted room in a hotel. In this film, Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson, becomes winter caretaker at the isolated Overlook Hotel in Colorado. Jack discovers the hotel's dark secrets and begins to unravel into a homicidal maniac on terrorizing his family.
Hi, Lloyd.
But what is Room 237 really about? It is the first full-length documentary by the director Rodney Asher, in which he reveals several of the most intriguing conspiracy theories of all time. Okay, let's go back to our point. But the question is, how Rodney's conspiracy theory are conveyed through the editing process?
Anything you say, Lloyd. Anything you say.
5 narrators provided their different interpretations of The Shining, complemented by stock footage, illustrative recreations, and clips from Kubrick's filmography.
I saw a number of Kubrick films before I had an academic interest in him, and then I went to see The Shining in 1980, and frankly I didn't think that much of it. I thought the other Kubrick films that I'd seen were far superior, but as I thought about the film afterwards, and even when I wasn't thinking about it, there were things that bothered me about it. It seemed as if I had missed something. And so I went back to see it again, and I began to see patterns and details that I hadn't noticed before. And so I kept watching the film again and again and again. And since I'm trained as an historian and my special expertise is in the history of Germany, and Nazi Germany in particular, I became more and more convinced that there is in this film a deeply laid subtext that takes on the Holocaust.
As the interviewers keep talking, we see the images taken from Kubrick's filmography as a way to represent their experiences watching this film. Let's take a look at the opening scene.
The poster that came out in Europe, at least in England I believe, before the movie was released in Europe, said the wave of terror that swept across America. And Kubrick controlled the posters very carefully. Now, it made you do a double take. I remember seeing it in Europe. I was the Rome bureau chief at the time for ABC News, and I remember looking at it, the wave of terror that swept across America. What's he talking about? And you'd sort of think that he was talking about the impact of the book The Shining, maybe. The impact of the movie that had just opened over there, maybe. Didn't quite fit. The wave of terror that swept across America from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon, was the genocidal armies and the white men with their axe clearing it all and bringing in extractive industries, among many other good things as well. But that was the wave of terror that swept across America, terrifying, of course, the American Indians.
In the opening scene, we are introduced to the location, and then the music in the background is kind of mysterious. It makes the audience feel like there is a mystery that needs to be resolved. Rodney uses many elements, such as two images in the same screen, as a way to compare and contrast his theories. Some people believe that The Shining is about the Holocaust. Other people think that Kubrick used his film to confess that he helped the NASA fake the Apollo moon landing.
The moon, the standard science textbooks said, and they still say, but now with lasers we've gotten a little better reading, but is that the mean distance of the moon from the Earth is exactly 237,000 miles. So he changed that so that you would understand that this was the moon room.
Mr. Allen, what is in room 237?
Nothing. There ain't nothing in room 237. But you ain't got no business going in there anyway. So stay out.
At the end, there is no clear consensus on just what The Shining actually means.
It's also a way of trapping someone like me, like who goes looking for clues and like keeps finding them, and next thing you know, you're like, man, I've been trapped in this hotel forever. Like, I'm dreaming about this place. You know, I'm like Jack. I'm like all work and no play. Or the other way around. It doesn't really matter. Like you're like in this loop.
Ha ha ha!